So at the moment, because it was their first piece of writing, we wanted to provide a lot of support for them. But obviously, as we go along, we have a lot of kind of formative and summative assessment just to check on their knowledge, to check on their skills. We won't be doing another formal piece of writing until S2. And so we want to just break the skills up evenly throughout the year so it's not feeling like there's too much assessment. But obviously we've factored in and we have in our course plans opportunities just for them to push themselves and produce a small piece of writing. So we take that evidence not only just from the letter to Santa that they have in their booklets, but also just the evidence that they have in their jotters to see how they're getting on. And obviously it's just a kind of collection. And then even if we do something separately, we have a latest and best folder. So we just pop everything in for them. And so it's quite nice because at the end of first year, they can pull everything out. So their vocabulary tests, their writing little assessments that they've done by themselves with, less and less support. And obviously their passports that they can see their progress throughout the whole year. We just felt for these kind of assessments, it was nice to have everything in the passport because they have a very clear overview. Because we experienced previously in the past when we had our latest and best folders, they were getting quite confused and they were looking through all these pieces of paper and it just felt too disorganized. So we wanted to try and condense everything in together. But obviously they do have little extra bits of more summative writing that we do throughout the year that we either take from their jotters or individual bits of paper. Mm-hmm. So when we look back in the first year, it doesn't matter who gets the class next year. What they'll do is we'll just exchange the passports. And when we look at their writing from first year, we'll decide whether they're going to be focusing on level 3 or level 4. Mm-hmm. And we'll just score out that section of benchmarks appropriately. So obviously S2 have just done their writing. Some of them were able to score at the level 3 because we knew they were ready for the level 4 challenge. And some we just scored at the level 4 because we realized and appreciated they were still very much on level 3.
I think that for us is something that works very well for us, and for us it's very important is the moderation of the work. We use the moderation very, very often in terms of every time that the pupils have tracking, for example, a week or 2 weeks before that we need to put the level that they're working, they sit together, and because I have used my own judgment as a teacher, but obviously, it's always good to sit and to say, see, this is what I have done. I think that because I think that these have been working in the orange level, but according to the jotters, they also have, we have this as an evidence, but they also have a lot of work in the jotter. According to the jotter, they have been working quite well. Do you think that we can go a little bit to kind of motivate or give them a little bit more so they feel more stronger for the next topic? I think that the moderation and the conversation between us, it works very, very, very well for that. It's good. You use your own judgment, but it's important as well to have somebody that supports you or have a different point of view of everything.
Because we were looking at one letter to Santa and we decided that it was about an orange level because we felt that it wasn't strong enough that we could say it's achieved, but it was just in the middle. But then when we looked through together from the jotter work, the individual pieces of writing that they'd done independently and obviously in class, we felt it was really, really good. And so as we were just a little bit torn between the two, we just brought all the evidence together and actually said, oh no, actually I think, based on the evidence we have in the jotters, based on the evidence we have in the passport, since we were undecided, we'd probably just move it to the green level because obviously the evidence and the jotters were really strong and really good. Okay. I'm very confident that our pupils could talk about the level because when we do our tracking, what we do is we have a little space in our tracking where they choose two statements two statements they feel very good about, and they choose one next step. And then also they do a little bit of feedback to the teacher about how they're feeling. But between those two sections, we personally put in the level that they're working at and also the colour that we believe they're working at. So perhaps level 3 red or level 3 orange or level 3 green or even level 4 red, because obviously we don't imagine they'd be any further than that at the moment based on what we have and the evidence we have. And then obviously the way that we judge that is we look through the passport together, and everything that we kind of decide is a common theme or enough evidence to point to a certain colour or a certain level, that's the level that we put at the moment. And obviously we haven't come to the second round of tracking for the first years, but based on the same use of the passport for the second years, we've seen some progression, and it's very nice for the pupils to see that they've maybe moved from level 3 green to level 4 red in the second round of tracking. So it's nice for them to see that progression, but also as they can see that common theme throughout the book, I think they're quite confident with understanding why they're at a colour or why they're at a level, because we try and keep that dialogue going with the pupils all the time. So it's not just a number in the book for them, it's something quite tangible, and they understand why it's there. And I think because that's mirrored in the lessons and in the differentiation, it's quite a common theme.
And I think that the pupils are totally aware of the level and how things working because they're used to work with it.